Hi there, thanks for joining me today. I'm Tina Carini at SpongeandStamp.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from Byron, Georgia. I am so happy to be here today, and I am so happy that you are joining me. I have a cute card to show you how to make. It is super easy. It's not hard at all, and there's two different ways that you can make this, and I'm going to show you how. So we're going to put that aside. I am going to pull in, this is a piece of Whisper White that I've already went ahead and stamped because I know you guys know how to stamp. So I used Bumblebee ink, and I also used the Quiet Meadow stamp set. We're using this image right here. We're also going to use this wording and the sentiment, heartfelt love and caring thoughts are with you. So what I did was I stamped it down, and I kind of judged about where I wanted to cut my circle using the layering circles, and I believe I used the second to the largest in both the scallop and the regular one. So the second to the largest in both. And then I ran it through my Big Shot, or the Stampin' Cut and Boss machine, and already cut it out. So we have that. And then we have this left. So what you need to do, and I know I have a piece, here it is. So I've already cut out the scallop circle to go behind it. So you're going to put this, let me get this piece of tape off of here, onto your scallop circle. But if you want to, you stamp your sentiment first. And I am stuttering all over my words. I don't know what's going on with me. I've been doing that for weeks now. You can stamp your sentiment, or what you could do, which is what I do, is I just line it back up in there so that I can make sure that I get my image straight, if that makes sense. Because if you don't, and then you try to line, when you line up your flowers, sometimes your image is going to be crooked. So we're going to take our image. I'm using Memento black ink, and I hope that all of that made sense. I think it did. So we're going to ink that up. And my ink pad is like super juicy. It may be a little too juicy. And I'm going to hope that I can stamp this straight, because I think I put my label on crooked. I'm not sure. So oh, it's stuck. So just like that. So now I'm going to give that a second or two to dry, because that ink is really thick because it is juicy. And then we're going to adhere it to the black label. So just like so. I'm not going to pop this up, but I am going to pop the whole thing up. So get it on there centered as can be. And then we're going to bring in a piece of black cardstock, and this is measured at 5 1/4 by 4. And we're going to adhere this to it. And you can see where I was playing around, and I didn't want to waste it. So don't waste your cardstock, because you can just flip it over and use it again. Which side is the right side, though? We're going to go with, this. Okay. Thought I had it right, but it kind of confused me a little bit there, which doesn't take much anymore these days, I tell you. My girlfriend tells me that it's because my brain is in overload and is carrying too much. And that may be true. Okay. So now we're going to take some dimensionals and just put these on here, and just go line it up the very best that you can. So I'm happy with the way that that lines up, and just like that. And then what I forgot to do, and I got some black ink on this, I tell you, I should keep some baby wipes around, because I'm a messy stamper and I get ink on everything. Before we wanted to stamp that, or put that down, put this circle down with dimensionals, we wanted to stamp that with this. And I also wanted to bring in some scrap paper, because I'm going to stamp this off twice. because I want it to be very light. And I'm going to hope that I'm stamping this straight because I'm trying to, oh, I stamped it upside down. Because I'm trying to not stick my head in the camera. Now we'll get it right side. So just like so. Just like that. Nobody will notice, right? Because you can barely read what it says anyway, just bits and pieces of it. So I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not stressing over such a small thing. And then we're going to adhere it to our bumblebee card base, which is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, or just folded in half. And attach that, just like that. And there you have it. There is one way to make this card. I'm not going to make this card all the way out, just because I just wanted to show you that that was one way that you could make it. Okay, so everything lines up and pretty simple. So here's another way that you can make it. I have the same size of cardstock. This is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And then I have the same size of basic black, which is 5 1/4 by 4. And I've already cut out our circles using the layering circles die. And then a piece of bumblebee cardstock that is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to kind of figure where I want to put this down at. And I think I'm going to put it probably right about there. And I know it's hard to see because, I wonder if I flip this other light on if it'll help with the shadowing. It's hard to see white on white, especially in a camera, I know. But I wanted to take a little tiny piece. You can hold it if you'd like, or just be very careful when you stamp down. But it slips on me sometimes. So I'm like, well, but I don't want to tear it, but I want it to stick enough. So I'm just taking a little bit of glue dot, and it kind of like took some of the stickiness away. And then I'm just going to layer it on there and hope that that stamps good. Because I haven't tried this. So I probably should have tried it before I did a video, right? But we're just going to go ahead and go for it. I'm going to ink this up. And then I'm just going to kind of guess about where I want this to go. And I think right about there. I'm going to stamp down and stamp up, and there we go. Now, when you do it like this, you are going to have a piece that doesn't stamp. But I was okay with that because we have our black layer behind. So I am all right with that. And why that's there, I think I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment too. So let's go ahead and ink this sentiment back up again. And hopefully, let's see if I can get this straight. A second time. Yay! Okay, so no ink on my hands, no ink on anything. Yay, yay, yay. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull this up. I'm going to remove that. Then we can adhere our sentiment to our black scalloped circle and just kind of layer that on there as even as you can get it. Just like that. Then we're going to put dimensionals on the back of it. Oh, before we do that though, before I put this on here, I want to stamp our little wording on here as well. And let's see if I can get this over a little bit more. There we go. Pull this off. Could have waited on that, but it's okay. And we're going to pull back out our bumblebee ink pad. Stamp. Let me see which way. There we go. So ink, stamp off twice. And then we don't have as much because this one I went a little higher on, but it will be all right. So just like so, twice. And then we're going to come down here and ink that. So cute. Okay. And now we're ready to place our little sentiment. Try to get it straight. So there we go. So that's that. And we're going to go ahead and adhere this to our black layer. Try to get it on here straight. Woohoo! Not so bad. Okay, could have come down a little bit more this way, but I'm not going to fuss too much about it. I'm just not going to. There we go. I'm good with that. All right, and then we're going to adhere it to our daffodil, not daffodil delight, but our bumblebee. This is really a beautiful yellow. I really like it. And put our glue on here. And center it on here as well. Okay, there we go. Now, I have a piece of black baker's twine that I am going to tie a little bow with. And then we're going to put that on there. And then we're going to put some black enamel dots. And voila, we will be finished and we will have a beautiful little card to send. Card of encouragement, could be a sympathy card, could be someone's not feeling well card, anything. Okay, so we're going to trim those off, and I am going to put that right about there, just like that. So we're going to adhere that using a glue dot. So I'm going to take a glue dot, and I'm just going to roll this guy like so, and stick it right on the back of my bow. There's different ways that you can do this too. Some you can stick it right onto where you want to put your bow. They stick it on the bow. It's really your preference on how you want to do it and what you feel most comfortable with. Okay, so now I'm going to take my take your pick tool, and I'm just going to take some, I think did I use the medium ones or the little ones? The little ones. So we're going to use, take your pick tool, just kind of get that, and we are just going to stick those right into the centers of these flowers, just like that. Magic? No, not magic. All right, definitely not magic today, huh? So let's just take that. There we go. Sometimes it wants to give you a fit, and there you go. So that's two different ways that you can do that. You can stamp and then die cut out your circle, or you can just carefully stamp it with your circle, and however you want to do it. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. It really does help. I would love to hear from you, so comment down below. And also, if you have not subscribed to my channel, I would really love for you to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button. And don't forget to ring the bell icon too. That way you get notifications of all of my future videos and you won't miss a thing. Okay, toodaloo-doo.